We're inside the Race Tech shop with Race Tech owner Paul Thede. Paul, thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming, Tom.
So what we want to talk about, well, for the people who might not be familiar with Race Tech, is what is Race Tech, what's it about, what's it done?
Well, actually, we're mostly about suspension setup, but also chassis setup. In fact, the entire package of handling for motorcycles is really what we do. Most of that work is actually focused on suspension setup. When you buy a motorcycle off the showroom floor, it's a little bit different than a car simply because the rider weighs so much more as a percentage, on a motorcycle than they do on a car. In a car, you get a 300-pound guy or a 120-pound guy, really doesn't make that much difference. But on a motorcycle, not only the weight of the rider, but what the rider does with their body, whether they're hanging off or what they're, how they're actually riding, has a much bigger effect on the handling of the motorcycle.
So a person can unknowingly, by sliding the fork tubes up in the triple clamps, affect the handling of the motorcycle because that changes the rake and trail of the motorcycle itself, right?
Right, and it actually changes a number of things, but rake and trail is kind of one of those interesting things that not that many people really know about. And a lot of things that are done are really done backwards. And so, for example, you talked about sliding the fork tubes up in the triple clamps. That is a very common thing that riders do when the bike doesn't turn. And the question really, and so what they'll do is they actually slide the fork tubes up. It's got steeper rake, less trail, and it's easier to turn the bars, but quite often you have less traction.